we're back here with a little Vertigo action. This one's going to be a bit interesting. It's not been phenomenal for either side, but X-Finest feel like they've got the edge here, Travis, based on what we saw on Nuke.
Yeah.
How confident are you feeling in them?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, just looking at the recent results with these two teams on this map, it's very 50-50. In saw's case, it's extremely on and off. In the last 7, it's win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. So logic dictates they win this one and win the series 2-0, but you never know. Finest have had some good results on it recently. Since playing with Snacks, they've had 2 games against Sprout, 1 win, 1 loss. They've beaten Aurora, they've beaten Eternal Fire, but they've also lost to Game Legion 16-4. So, as you say, a very mixed bag. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what we got. Oh, it's maybe we're going to take to start things off, because of course it is. Ah, Jerks just can't help himself. Blessin doesn't even have to move his crosshair. Just delivers himself right back in like a moth to the flame. Roman's going to be forced off by a nade. Roman was so dang good on Nuke. He's going to be looking to do a little bit more of that. Kill found, and somehow Story pulls this off from Cement. Drops the bomb, gets confirmation. If they didn't already know this was a take towards site, they do now. 3 on 3. Don't mind the ghost specters on the minimap. Don't worry about that, folks. But with the smoke still up, they're going to try and plant this bomb. There's no util on the other side to force them off of it. Bomb now down to dirt. They'll wait for the smoke fade and go for the retake. This sets up a pretty good situation for X-Finest. We need some snappy shooting out from sAw. They're going to get this headshots only time. And there's the first. All right, Roman wants to tap, wants to put this pressure on. They know they got to play Cement. They've got nothing to deal with him utility-wise. And now the wham, bam, wombo combo of Snacks and Hades is proving too much to handle. Story's going to go for it and try and find the fight, and he's just lost us on time already. He just doesn't have the time to take this. And so this is going to be a dire situation, and it might just be him down into the grave. One way or another, Story is not getting out of this.
Bish, bash, bosh from Hades. 3 clicks is enough to secure the final kill and take the pistol round. As you say, Snacks and Hades, a bit of lovely synergy between those two. Do you think in these situations, even in a like mostly EU mixed team, do you think if Snacks and Hades are left in a 2vx, they'll communicate in Polish? Probably, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I would guess so. Hades speaks like the most like proper English.
I know. Yeah.
Dude sounds posh. Okay, Story.
Nice shot.
That was a ripper. Excited about this. On Nuke, he had a chance with a scout very early on in the second half. Couldn't nail it this time. Doing himself a little better. Oh, all right, Twist. Jerks continuing his rough starts to games. But a player in Henny is going to find a kill, instantly traded. Maybe that's not worth it for Roman. Snacks is low. What's going to happen? It's going to turn right back into the A fight, and that means they're going to be very vulnerable to Story. They've got 1 smoke. 1 smoke. Better be a good smoke, is all I'm saying.
Over to Snacks, and that's the pick. Yeah, that's
cool.
The pick that matters. Story had a lovely first shot, but over the top of it, smoke not required, and finally be thrown in now. More Snacks, as we said, is low, so vaguely dangerous, and now the scout's been picked up by Just as well, so you never know, but Snacks has spotted the shoulder peak, so I think they know where both these 2 remaining players are now. They have all the information. Hades can hold this smoke too, because he's going to walk through it. Easy kill for Hades. Now it's just left. Classic combination of the 2 words in 2 different scenarios. And actually, he has a slight chance at this one. There's one, but look where Snacks is. He sees him.
Oh, no! Never take out utility in a 1v1!
I know. So close. Nice try, but utility comes back to bite him.
That's swift justice, almost. That would have been an incredible play. He spots the player, right? He sees him. He has the right eye peek. He has every advantage if he just has the dig out. Oh, man. That hurts. That hurts. That's going to sting. But, I mean, look, it does keep it close. Problem is now you've got nothing to really fight with in this round. Couple nades. Blessin throwing the weirdest flash I've ever seen.
Man, that was a great chance. Goes a-begging, unfortunately. Twist now might have some eco frags to eat up, but they're going to swing as a group, and he has no chance at all in that scenario, so Shock has to do the work. Blessin's very confused, and still somehow gets away with 2 kills, and he ends the round looking as dazed as anything, looking around as if to say, where did they come from? But still, gets the kills in the end, and as the 3-0 start for X Finest.
Well, so far we've had 3 A ramp takes. Oh, different here. Presence being shown towards the steps. Snax catches an 8 right off the rip for that one. So here we go. Do something. Gonna do something.
He does something.
They're gonna fake A ramp, but now they're coming out to B steps. I love it. I love it. Get interesting. Just though, really nice play. Goes forward, finds the initiative. Oh, I don't love the poke back in. It works, but holy cow, is that a bit friskier. Had a flashbang with him, I think, but either way, the kill comes through, and now it's a prime position for sAw to play from. Just having a bit of a hot start here on Vertigo. Well, that's what they're going to need.
Now they can fall back.
To step up.
So, as you say, the second poke, second prod was a bit scary. In the end, it works perfectly with a bit of a flash assist. And once you throw that Molotov, it sort of it reeks of a player who's falling back. So, just catches off the second very nicely. AD's spray isn't necessarily particularly clean, but gets one of the bullets to connect to the head of Just. So, 2v4. AD's 10 HP. Yeah, it's not looking too good. If they can get a bomb plant out of this, that would be ideal. But there are 3 players holding the line here. Including the Orb of Story. That's a disgusting shot from Shox. Now he can play up close, but surely Ujerks hears it, and yes, he does. Headshot angle being played by Hades. He taps 1, but not the second, and gets sent off the building to secure sAw their first round.
It's a nice find early. Inexpensive, which presents us with an interesting round here. One of these early swing rounds about which the next few might just be determined. Finest, recognizing the opportunity, are going to buy into it. It's going to be a bit limited for a couple players, but it's fine. Shox even gets a Galil. I thought he might be on no Mac 10, but all good here. So where are they going to go? Heavy presence B steps again. Just sends out a ripper of a nade. I think they wanted to try and catch Just getting aggressive again. Oh, that nade. Oh my. Do they still go for the boost? They're still going for the boost. Now they've spotted it. That's such a brutal HE. And they're going to have confirmation with that boost coming through that it landed.
Yeah, it's such a nice HE as well because it pops off the girder and then on the little right angle of the girder. So it just goes straight down, basically. It's not a bounce that will go off the building. And it's such a nice one to do because that boost is so common, of course. And the 2 picks that come in for sAw are even on the 2 players that grenade didn't hit. So X Finest are the walking wounded in a 3v5.
There's the spot. Shox at least getting an upgrade here. They're just trying to get rid of guns. I don't quite understand the focus since there are full rifles up on the other side, but maybe they think there's limitations.
Ujerks did have 2 kills with the FAMAS, so they have that intel, I guess. They don't want to let them get a free AK. Perhaps.
They're saving this. That's interesting.
Don't have
Full
any
on
money to
saving it
drop.
early on. This is going to lead to some real weird money. Presumably you force around these 3 guns in the next round.
The fact that they've got some utility saved is good, but the utility... I mean, okay, Shox has got 500, I should say, so you can absolutely buy a smoke, which is required, and they've got 2 Molotovs and a flash, so they can definitely work something with this, with Plesson and Hades perhaps on a Tech 9, and there we go, there's 1. And there is a smoke purchase, but yeah, as you say, it leaves them in a very rough spot, so they're going to have to probably buy around it full to even out the money. Now it sort of leaves them in a tough spot of how do you bake these AKs in to get the work done? Need some entry somewhere.
It's honestly a better utility run than I was... Oh, it's only 2 smokes. Shox must have given a smoke over 2 Hades. That's unfortunate. Muteris takes out Shox immediately, and that's why he wanted to go aggressive, but their aggressive pokes are being dismantled, and now Plesson's util's down in the dirt. That's not going to be used at all. They've been completely rebuffed in the initial. Hades could get the gun at least, but That's a hot start for sAw. Fine just wanted to try the momentum to catch them off guard, and that didn't work. So now the creep out for Snacks.
I love this angle.
Creep in the mid. Mutiris nearly got caught repositioning, but he still gets the kill, and it's clean. It's just going to be Snacks on a smoke fade, and he's even getting damaged up before it fades, and Ujerks brings that through with the USP.
Yeah, nice cleanup. Ujerks with a good start. Very clean start for sAw in terms of the fragging as well, even across the board. Always a good sign. And yeah, that round, as soon as they lost those opening 2 picks, just again, a little bit of a mess. Rex Finest not able to get any handle back into the round. And if there was a handle, it lost its grip. Eagle coming in. A deco, but for Shops is P250. Ujerks has that AK picked up as well to replace the FAMAS, so couldn't be better for sAw. sAw are a very weird Vertigo team because it's a map that they've always played in the team's history. It's never been one that they've shied away from. In its early stages, they're very good on it. They're very happy to go to it. As Twist does deal with Mutiris nicely. At least that's something. But yeah, they have had their struggles on the map in the recent meta, let's put it that way. So, and we're casting sAw back in my early days doing ESL Advanced for friends. And even then, it was a map that they were happy to go to and get some results on. Just find Snacks going with a little bit of the boost again. Fortunately, no success. The second time in a row. Going for that one. Jock's finding a kill is good. 3v3. They do have control to get a gun, so you never know.
Yeah, this round's a little more interesting than it was looking. 2Ds making their way up steps. I think they've got a pretty good idea. They've still got just trapped here. Which does make life difficult. Time's starting to become an issue. They're waiting for this mid player to work his way through, right? If Shox can find a little bit of concentration pull, then these 2 steps players have a really good chance. The problem is there's 2 players already committed in, right? Jerks is here to support for the mid play. And you got Just Watch Steps. They need to focus on their responsibilities. There's going to be the first. Good catch. Jerks catches the mid player, and now it should be all comfortable, and indeed it is. So, fine is make that round interesting, but can't quite bring it home.
What was FGW's map pool like? Did they go to Vertigo much?
I have no idea at this point, man.
Yeah, it's been so long. It's been so long now. They are in, of course, they are in Challenger League this season as a team that got relegated from Pro League. We're going to see some of those. You never know. If the bracket goes on for long enough, we might see a sAw versus FTW game at some point, and that would be something for the Portuguese scene. Would be Brazil's 0-0 Nation versus Imperial, probably.
Oh, there's the catch. Good kill for Pleasant.
Oh, more damage. Tough for X-Finest to deal with. Story looking for the mid play as well, and he's got Mutiris and support to look for the window. You need to smoke the connector, and right now it's not up. It's just a bit of a shallow smoke to try and get them into that window, but it could funnel them into Mutiris.
They have util for this peak. They could go for a flashbang, but they're going to try and do a dry, and it's going to work out. And they're holding for the second as well. Ujerks finds a kill elsewhere. That'll at least give them the comfort to focus from the A players, but they need to deal with this ramp presence, and they do exactly that, just in the right time. Just in the nick of time. Now it's just left to Shox. He's wandering around, too many angles to cover, and that was about 3/4 of the way there for X-Finest, right? That was a lot of presence, a lot of control in towards mid. Once they get the kill on Story, I'm thinking it's over. Once they get the second onto Mutiris, they've got the middle of the map wide right for the taking. The problem is you can't get caught there. You have to seize immediately, right? And they don't quite do that. They don't quite bring it through. Wind up getting caught, wind up getting stalled out, and it's another round for sAw.
How much time do they have left? Was it about 30 seconds or 45?
I think about 30. I think about 30.
Because I was thinking that maybe they could have chosen to go B instead. Once they killed the window player Mutiris, B sometimes is the easier option, but I think with 30 seconds, if they've already got a player lurking at ramp, it could have been a little bit difficult to sort that one out in time.
Mutiris, he's about to be in trouble. 1, 2, not quite a third. That's a tough angle to play with an A1S.
It is.
A4, a little more viable. But, yeah, I mean, this is just Snacks. He's been incredible before. This would be one heck of an ace.
Another grenade. Unfortunately, it was a bit too shallow. It's funny, all the utility on the ground is Snacks, but those 2 grenades, unfortunately, only one of them connects. So Story stays healthy. Lives to tell the tale. Look at this mid-hold. This is not one you're going to penetrate in a hurry. 1 player on top of the sandbags, 1 player in connector and their elevators, and 1 player on the little yellow, I don't even know what that is, but little strut, which is a very nice off angle to hold. I mentioned the angle that Muterus was holding in one of those previous rounds. Very handy just to get an easy 1-for-1. Not easy to pre-fire, slight shadow advantage. Always a very nice one to play. 3 kills from there. It's not a free kill though. Just finishes off the round. Snacks will go down. And that's a good little streak for sAw coming in here. 6-3 on their CT side. X-Finest not doing any basics at the moment. They're not doing the classic take ramp, go for an execute, put the smokes up and try and go for a plant. Some of these mid plays, while they've got progress, as you so rightly say, Mike, it's no more than that.
It kind of feels like they're falling into the trap that so many teams do on Vertigo, where they know how to do an A-ramp take, and when they try other things, it's a little less thought out.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you've now lost 6 rounds in a row. Basically, once the guns have come out, it's been all sAw. And most of these rounds have been pretty dang comfortable for sAw as well.
Nice util, by the way. The mid off the girder to put it right into that tiny cubby again where they go for the boost. And while they weren't there, it just let Justin Muterus swing off of it. Beautiful. This is really nice protocols from sAw on the CT side. Initiative is perfect at the moment.
They're looking so much more in control here, even than they were on Nuke, right? On their own map pick, frankly, they looked a little bit shakier, and some of the things that they were doing, some of the ideas that they had, they're so buttoned up here. Even the dink on a Hades. Roman doesn't need to face, but he's going to. Yeah, you know he's going to. They've got him hemmed in. There's no way out of this for Hades. There's no world. Jerks is just trying to get the spam kill because it'd be hilarious if he does.
Come on, Roman. There we go. Finds the 1 bullet required, and that's 7-3. Very nice. Again, incredibly clean. And that was just a really nice change-up from sAw. They know that Finest have enjoyed going mid. They have been a mid-enjoyer in this game so far. However, the play they chose to do, while it was a mid-lurk, it was going toward B, and had 2 players in mid, 2 players B. That is a very unusual CT Vertigo setup. And it works perfectly with Just and Muterus teaming up with that utility thrown from Ujerks off the girder, like I said. They really sort of caught X-Finest off guard, not expecting that in the slightest. And now they're left with 3 Tech 9s and 2 Deagles with good util, but that's really it. Try and glean a T round again.
Here we go. They'll try B steps again. Just has been feasting on this site, to be quite frank. I mean, oh, I almost said the story of this game. Straining myself. Here we go. The hit's going to come in. Just will take the first. Oh, that was belabored. But he does do a ton of damage. Now Story is on the angle. Even just buying that time is huge for Just. And that's a bomb down. That's a disastrous situation. That is just Shocks left out in no man's land. No way he's getting through this. I think the story that you're getting from this is told in Just and Ujerks' storylines, in their score lines, right? Because Just is your B anchor and Ujerks is your A ramp anchor. And if they're both having 12-4 or 11-4, 12-5 score lines, it means you're not getting anywhere on sites.
Exactly. It's a very good point. And everyone's performing well. And we brought up the fact that Ujerks had a slow game. Had a couple of impactful rounds, but a slow game on Nuke. And it was really Roman and Story that had the great match and getting that double 30 bomb. And I said whether that's, repeatable. If it's not, then maybe it would be a tough one for sAw this map. But you got Ujerks and Just stepping up as well. So not much you can do at the moment. And the money is almost maxing out on both Roman and Ujerks as well. That is, that's going to be hard for X-Finest to break down. Quick timeout, and they sort anything out.
Shot through yellow. Not finding home. That's going to be the A-ramp take. It's going to be the straightforward one. Finest trying to simplify things. It's been 8 rounds in a row for sAw. And they're going to get an opening pick. It's been so long since that's happened. Oh, it's working. All right. They dismantled the A defense. There is oodles of money on the sAw side, so there's no reason for them not to at least give this a look. But the bomb is going down. And it has been so very long since we've been able to say that. It has been 6 rounds, I think, since we even had a bomb plant. So now, this is looking like Finest are finally getting back on the board.
It's been a while, but we're here. We're ready to go. Next Finest. Should have 4 players alive after this as well, which is pretty handy. Mutrius and Just looking to save. And, I mean, it's probably not the main thing you really want to do when you have this much money in the bank, but they are going to at least try and save with one. Mutrius might decide to take down some players after the bomb. That is the usual goal when you have this much money. It is worth trying to look for damage, knowing that even if X-Finest survive with 2, it puts them in a bit of an issue going ahead. But they survive with 4, and they get a free AWP, so that is the perfect way for X-Finest to respond after that streak of 8. But of course, sAw still have to hold the score.
Go for the A-ramp take. As someone who is the chief missionary of the go everywhere but A-ramp church on Vertigo, it pains me to say it. But going back to Old Faithful worked out for Finest.
It did. They caught them in the midst of a play. Maybe peek it as a trio, and Ashwood worked perfectly. Countered. Lesson chucks him off the map down the elevator shaft, because of course it then will respawn silently on the ground. Little trick if you don't want it to make noise. And Roman, even though Pleasant has a bit of a chance to shoot back that smoke, he gives him no chance.
Threw the Molotov into the corner and then spammed the angle. A player would have to come off if they were stuck in that corner to dodge the molly.
Exactly.
That drops the bomb right into Jerks' lap, and here's the change up, right? sAw, they gave a little bit too much space on towards the A-ramp. At least that was their read on it. So they changed things up. They just try and deny this. Flashbangs are so good. Roman bailing his teammate out. Even out of bullets, Jerks would have had that if he has one more round in the chamber. As it is, though, a massive advantage. Bomb still in control of the CT side. A flank developing here for Just. I'll have to be careful about it.
He's making
wounded
noise.
Hades and Snacks to try and make this happen.
Yeah, I made a bit of noise there to try and force a rotation. I thought they may just rotate silently through connector, and then maybe they don't know that a second player's come in and helped out, but I have to assume it at this point, and Roman's just there anyway. There's nothing you can do about that. 2 clean frags. The Polish duo of X-Finest will drop, and that's an immediate rebuttal from sAw. And as you say, the counter to what X-Finest did in the previous round was superb, with that molly being used to force him out, spraying the right place, and dropping the bomb made it impossible for shot.
At the very least, they kept 4 alive in the last, right? So they get a bye here. But this is the round where you have to do something. That's a nice start. Okay, Shocks, the one Tech 9. He gets himself an upgrade. He puts some pressure on towards mid. This is the power of the mid lurk. Now, look at how spread this defense is. Instead of the focus on towards A-ramp, now you've dragged Udrex way back out of that. Roman's even with them. They're giving so much space here towards A, just trusting the util, trying to retake this ground. Well, they will find it. But they're reading this wrong. They're anticipating the B play, perhaps, and now they're caught massively out of position. I wonder if this is just going to be a double push down the flank on the ladder. This could be spicy. They'll keep sending U-Jerks on the flank. He's going to go down the ladder. They'll bring Story back into support. Makes sense. You don't want to try and fight that with an AWP. Oh, great shot from Twist. Identifying the angle, identifying the position. Not expecting Story to immediately retake that spot. Molotov is late, though. Big kill from Justice is keeping it interesting. Story, don't know about that swing. You have your teammates flank to play off of. That's a bit overzealous, and now no one else to worry about. They'll go back and find Jerks. An important 5th round here. X-Finest are finding just enough to get out of this half with a chance to fight.
It's an interesting one, right? I mean, I agree with you, Story. I think he swings a little bit too soon. Waiting behind the smoke, unfortunately, it's obvious. So maybe he thinks, okay, it is obvious that I'm here. Maybe I should try and make a play, catch a timing. Maybe he thought he had a timing on at least one. So he then can go 1-for-1 and give his teammate a 1v2 rather than a 1v3. But yeah, still, I think logically, maybe wait a few more seconds. Perhaps you have a chance there. But yeah, it's that was always going to be a X-Finest round, I believe. Had all the control and the deep control towards CT as well. And now final round of the half. X5, so if they can get out of this with 6, I would say that was a pretty significant success.
I mean, honestly, even 5 at this point feels pretty good.
I agree.
Here comes the hit in towards B. Just repositions in the nick of time.
Oh.
Gonna get a second as well here. Nice use of the Molotov. This B site, they're so on point with their utility. Twist. Speaking of utility, we'll make it work for him. Good damage on the spam as well. But it's the op line of story that they really have to get past. They're gonna try and run boost, maybe? No, this is just a boost up to check the mid peak. There's no one there. But getting off this line, that's gonna be a nightmarish in story. He realizes what he's got in front of his eyes pretty quickly. Just 2 players to find. Flashbangs ineffective. Mow down. Bomb confirmed. Round over. Double digits. Send sAw to the half.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
A strong half for sAw sees them ahead by 5, but this is a recoverable situation. X-Finest did just enough to give themselves a fighting chance here in the second. How you feeling about it, Trav?
I think this is going to be a close game, genuinely. Yeah, I've seen some very rough sAw T sides on many maps, including Vertigo, so I think this one can still go either way, but they are in pole position for now. The question is, by how many tenths of a second? They're going to be walking in toward B on the stairs to begin with, and it looks like Mike going to be going for a B pop. They have a Molotov for the default position or the quad position, and 2 smokes and flashes to send them in. And Twist right now is playing a bit of a retake angle.
All right, so here's my fun fact. We'll talk about it after this pistol round, I guess. Twist has been forced off. This is almost guaranteed a bomb plant already. Materis gets a kill. Uh-oh. It's all falling apart here. Everybody's coming from mid, and the gates have been shut in their face. They're not being allowed through the choke point, not in the slightest. Even a dink on the Pleasant to make matters from bad to worse. This is disastrous.
Wow.
This is absolutely catastrophic. Pleasant with 2 HP against 5, against the world. And he is not quite done for yet. But golly, he knows they're coming for him, and he doesn't want to get knifed.
That was actually a really nice play, by the way. I mean, he's definitely in trouble, this Pleasant. 1 kill would be nice just for some bonus cash. But yeah, they had a really deep left side gen smoke. And I'm not sure if they've done their homework and know how X-Finest like to play Vertigo. I can guarantee you they will. Wouldn't surprise me if Mutuous has had a look at some of their recent games on Vertigo, as they have had some good results. And if they realise that they like to play retake B on pistol and just having Twist in window, because that deep left side gen smoke allows them to push up so far and peek on the railing on the edge of the map as well, which just gets them a sight line towards CT that can shock a retaker, I should say. And that was pretty beautiful. What's your fun fact, Mike? I need to know.
I was just going to say, looking at the statistics, Finest actually do win more of their rounds on this map on T side.
Really? Okay.
Which, part of that can be demonstrated by picking into it, right? If you pick into a map and you're good at a map, generally speaking, you are going to have a better T-side win rounds percentage because that's where you start. But obviously, it doesn't bode well for them in this situation, especially having dropped the pistol. Now, sAw appear to be tripping their way on into the stack. Oh, that's an A. Goodbye. Goodbye. You do need to watch it. But here we go. Roman is making some money. Moolah. Cash. Ola, he's finally dealt with. They could just take the bomb towards B, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They want murder. They want violence.
Blood.
They're going to get it.
Easy clean up. 2 players in sandbags trying to bait each other in. That's actually a really good setup of play. I actually saw it, I think, firsthand at the major the other day, and it was analysed on the skybox thing with the Mahone and Anders, and yeah, on a gun round, having 2 players on sandbags, and obviously when it gets mollied, you put a smoke down, and then the player with a flash swings from that. But of course, you're leaving 1 player there, completely unknown. So, I'd like to see that being put into place in gun rounds, but obviously on a leaker like that, it's only you get about 1 or 2, and the M2 is what they get, which isn't too bad for a full eco. Molotov and nade certainly spooking them out of that one. But around coming in, of course, 5 M4s, 4 Finest, no money for an AWP as of yet. But still have plenty of utility to work with. Still 4 Molotovs ready and raring to put into action.
This is so passive. You just now Muteris showing a little bit of presence, but he's just here to set up the Molotov in towards the side hall. So they're going to start to take some ramp control. That's what that molly tells us. A flashbang back in. This is a nice play for Flying. It's not going to find anything on it. There it is. Nice. There it is. And there's the execution. Okay.
Perfect.
Good setup. Exactly the play they needed to counter what sAw was bringing to the table. Now it's a question of keeping bodies alive. So far, so good. Just on a Muteris. No way he's getting away from this one. Good read, good play, great execution there from X-Finest.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, we spoke about how A ramp and taking it is the obvious play to make on Vertigo, but you know, the maps evolve in general in Counter-Strike, and the fact we're seeing so many CT sides now trying to stop that in the midst of it happening, and the timing, of course, can often be off and they can get punished for it, but if you do it right and go for a triple peek with a flashbang when you think they're in the midst of taking ramp or on the edge of throwing in their double smokes for the crosses on left and right, can be the perfect timing just to destroy a play, and did that exactly perfectly in that round. So we'll rebuy. Have 2 AKs, a Galil, a Deagle, and a Tech 9. I'm going to go for that boost toward B once again. Twist. I'm going to look for it. Get caught in the open, though, and that's always utility gone, and they're going to pounce off the back of it. Oh, no chance.
This is brutal. This is brutal now. The limited round, the limited buy. A round that should have been theirs, and you can't even really justify going for it. You can't justify giving it a look. You just don't have enough opportunities left. You got to keep these guns alive. You have to save here. So that's going to be sAw into 13. That's an immediate answer. Money's going to be suspect. Is a generous way to describe it for finest.
Suspect.
I think this next round, provided they save all 3 guns here, this next round, I think it's the map.
Yeah, probably. You're saying the economic situation is sus, Mike. That's what you're saying.
It's sussy. Yeah. Sussy Baka.
Gotcha. Quietly, Snacks is 4 and 13, by the way, as well, which is unfortunate. I picked him up beforehand, and he had a relatively decent showing on Nuke, to be fair. I'd won a very important clutch in the midst of that second half, I believe. But, yeah, on this map, he's been very, very quiet. And not really
I'm curious about how much Vertigo Snacks has played. I'm trying to think back to... He was on Anonymo, right?
Yeah.
Did they play Vert?
Hang on a second. You go, Cast. I'll go look for that for you. Go ahead.
All right. We'll talk about this round. I'm curious to see if he's played much Vertigo in his career. Ooh, nade's gonna be in. There we go. Decent damage. Nothing catastrophic though. But it might make just a little bit more timid. And more importantly, I think to get the information there. Flashbangs could have theoretically blocked it off, but I don't believe they did. And so, at least for the moment, sAw will be a bit slowed down. Roman, that's completely unconfirmed damage, but it is a lot of it. So Roman put on notice here. It's going to be a pretty straightforward B play, it seems. Nades were trying to find a player, Dupree. Not going to succeed, but I like the idea. The freebie, if you nail it, just dropped. Shox finding the timing on the wood, jump up, and no one else was at hand to trade. So now Story in mid, this could be huge. He goes to the util as he clears the corner. That's a freebie for Hades. And this is looking like a good situation for the X-Finest crew. sAw's adjusted, though. They're rocking up a ramp, and there's not a lot to help. Molotov in. They're not quick enough to punish Blessing on it. No one was in position to actually get that, so they clear the spot. They don't get the execution. At this point, 3 players have rotated through. This is going to take some really nifty shooting from sAw to even get a chance at a bomb plant. Twist has a perfect angle. Flashbang's there. Twist gets one. He's traded. But the Molotovs make life so difficult to actually plant this bomb. Mutiris, I think he's going to get away with this. He does indeed. That's nice for the long game. But no chance he's taking this round.
Nicely done. That's fine. I think I survive with 4 players alive as well. So I found your answer. And the answer to that is that if we exclude the X-Finest run, which dates back to the beginning of October, which I mentioned to you, Challenger League and Elite Invitational, last time you played a Vertigo before that was for a mixed team in Advanced in June. Before that, it was a game against Furia at IM Dallas, so fair enough. They won that 2-0 when we were standing in for Ents. But before that, it was January. So not many instances, to be fair.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he was playing on a team since January. Until he played that.
Yeah, it was a Cash Cup in January, and then it was Anonymo. The first Anonymo game in history is December. So there you go.
Okay, not a ton of vert, but I think that has more to do with this period of inactivity as anything else. The flashbang is so good, the kills work out, and that's disastrous now for X-Finest. They can't be dropping these rounds. They can't be dropping these rounds. This is such a tough situation again. If they lose Hades, they've lost Hades. This might just have to be a save. Shox is kind of committed. He's going to commit himself. Oh, fortunate to get away from that one. They're going to chase. They're going to chase. He's just trying to get the heck out of dodge. This is 14 on for sAw. They are a stone's throw away from closing out this map. And with it, this series as well. They're looking fully in control here in Vertigo.
Yeah, and we have to point out now, we'll sort of get toward the finish line. It's, as we said in the pre-game, it's not just an opening BA3 victory, because Eternal Fire pulled out of Challenger League for this season, because obviously they're having plenty of roster troubles, as you were seeing in the news recently, losing Paz and losing their coach Hardstyle as well. There is a buy available. So you win this game, go to the next round, you get a buy, so you go to the next round. So it's 2 rounds for free for sAw. So this would be a big, big win And that's what was on the line for both these two teams. So, at the moment, sAw 2 away from that.
Oh, the moment is upon them. The moment is upon them, it seems. A chance here. Basically seal the deal. Do or die for finest in this round. If you could save, maybe you can kick that can down the road a little bit, but you don't want to be playing for 8 rounds in a row to just try and take it to overtime. They need to get her down here. Flashbang for a peek down ramp. Doesn't find results, but it does get Hades on the line. He's got the off at least. Love to see that big gun have impact. So much utility spent from both sides. First kill going to be so dramatic, and Snacks, who's low, who's been slow this game, he might be the first contact. Roman on the other side looking for him. There's the head. Spotted. There's the kill found. Another opener here for sAw. Pressure on the Hades. He's not getting away. This is disastrous now. The site once again vulnerable. Open right for the taking. And Blessin, he's out in no man's land. He's done for. They got a flank developing, but it's way too late. It's way too late. They're betting everything on this. Shocks. He won't even be able to escape back in. Twist alone has to back. Has to just try and keep this gun so that they have anything to fight for in the future. Map point, series point is taken here by sAw, and they're going to have 8 chances in a row to close.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant team performance from sAw so far today. We mentioned the double 30 on, of course, on Nuke, but we also said that it wasn't like anyone was lagging behind. It wasn't necessarily a hard carry double 30 bomb either. It was just everyone was doing their job and doing their job well, even Mutuist at the end of that game. And now everyone on the server is performing perfectly in this one. Twist is down thanks to Roman hunting him. 19 to 10 for U-Jerks, 18 for Roman, 19 for Just. It's beautiful at the moment for sAw. This is some of the old school Vertigo plays that I remember from them back in the day. We're talking probably 2 years ago at this point, 2 years plus. And this is the old form that I remember. And they've been shaky since. What did I say about sAw being a bit iffy on this map and a bit 50-50? It was the win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And looked like it's going to be a win. And keep that weird pattern going.
It's looking good. It's a D ground, though, that they've got to get over. Maybe it's just a speed bump, but we've seen a lot of teams wreck themselves on these kind of hurdles. Utility being effectively used. They're trying to keep up the pace. Gutierrez is so low. He's just trying to dump his nades now so he doesn't get caught dead with them. U-Jerks, 2 big kills. That helps out. Goes on top of the boxes here for a third as well. U-Jerks wants to end it. And Blessin will take advantage, but only for a moment. That's going to be the game. sAw with the dub. 16 to 7. Dominance here from sAw. What a heck of a showing. What an incredible game, an incredible series as well. I mean, Nuke was left in. That was actually the more competitive map. That's what we expected to maybe be the Achilles heel, but here on Vertigo, sAw showing great form, and this is maybe the promise of this team now starting to come through, right? We saw Story be a dominant force through both maps. We see U-Jerks wake up majorly on Vertigo. This is what they were hoping with those moves. They were hoping to bring some firepower upgrades in and give them a chance to start to compete among those upper rungs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as you so rightly point out, just look at the kills on the previous map. 31 to 21 for Roman, 30 to 14 for Story. It's those 2 players that can step up so often. On this map, it's, I think past 20 in the end for Just. It was a perfect cleanup and very good ADRs, KDs, perfect flash assists as well. There were so many instances where their utility was on point, especially CT side for a good amount of time when they had that mid control and B control, destroying the opportunity for XFiNUS to go for those boosts and the like of that. No chance, no way in for XFiNUS whatsoever. And that was actually a pretty interesting demolition, actually, of XFiNUS, considering that they've been looking particularly